Looks like it went up.
Okay, I think we're on air again. So again, hello ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to International Racing League. This is Christmas Classic event. Today, 3 different races, some classic car races. With 1 track quality, 25% race distance. The first race, we're actually like in the qualifying at the moment. The driver could choose between the 1990 McLaren or the Ferrari. Most of them I think picked the Ferrari. So the choice was up to the drivers. And for the event today, I'm your commentator. My name is Tim Rosens and I'm jumping Kevin Harrison. Hello.
Yeah, and as we see, they're coming. They just finished Sector 3 a few moments ago. It looks like Lewis and Matthew Alder are the ones on top, similar to F1 usually is, really. These two, at least in quality, can be quite close. Matthew Alder and Lewis, actually, Matthew taking it right now, going through the penultimate corner here, and he may well take it. Nino could be a bit of a dark horse. We saw him earlier in the lap quite far up, as you weren't quite able to see it, but Matthew's going to come across the line and he is going to take pole. So we see there Matthew, followed by Lewis, Nino, Bran and Rustin in the top 5 positions at least.
Yeah, watch qualities every time like pretty fast because it's only one lap. The drivers need to get a perfect lap. What Matthew did was more like, yeah, no surprise. He's first 3 tenths ahead of Lewis Curtis and he is 3 tenths ahead of Nino. Then we have Brandon, Ross and a 3 driver on P5. Then we have Ollie, Reese, Sylvain, Luke, Ivan, Adam, Ari, Sondre, Paco, forgot his name, Epop, Lance, Jared, Shane, and Tom Jewell. So we have a big mix between the F1 and F3 and F2 drivers. It's good to see that we have an F3 driver on P5.
Yeah, and also I was going to mention the first two, well, the front row really occupied by the two different cars. So Ferrari on pole, McLaren in second. So showing that both cars can be up there. So it's not necessarily a disadvantage to be on the McLaren, although everyone is in the Ferrari. Maybe it might be an advantage, and no one really knows that. I think one of them might have been a one of the Schumacher edition cars. I think that was a McLaren, which might explain why people are in the Ferrari. Not completely sure,
I'm
but
not sure as well.
yeah, nice to see them up at the top close. The two cars.
Yeah, the driver could choose between them. I would say like I would going with the McLaren because I think the car is just like for me it's personally beautifuler than a Ferrari. But the Ferrari is like a tradition car, so it's good to see that we have both cars in.
Yeah, it certainly is. This looks like people are going to be finishing up now, so we can get the formation lap underway.
Yeah, and it's the D tires. I don't know how they're fully completed called. For me, it's just a D compound of tires. So yeah, and I like the old classic telemetry on the screen.
Yeah,
It's pretty old and traditional, like it's just beautiful. So
and
yeah,
already 4 people getting disqualified.
yeah, it was a little piled up at the start of the formation lap. As you have only a 25% race, so the driver needs to pit, I think, but it's not like that they need to. But I'm not sure how is it with classic cars. But with the modern rules, they need to pit in 25% races. So yeah, let's see.
Yeah,
Obviously,
and it
they
would
don't
be
have the.
nice if Lewis would get a maybe a good start, so we can see a bit of a fight between the McLaren and the Ferrari
Yeah, would be
for
good.
a bit of a kind of nostalgia, maybe. I mean, some people might have been around for the actual fight itself, but it would be nice to see the two different cars fighting for the win.
Yeah, it will be a nice thing. As I think, like there is with strategy nothing like especially because if they don't have the soft hard or mediums, they just have the D towers and the G towers is like on every car the same. So yeah, nothing in terms of strategy what they can do. Maybe some undercuts, but it's I don't know. I wasn't driving the classic
Yeah,
cars in this game, so I can't really say something.
And with how long and how durable these tires are as well, like an undercut could be quite significant, and we might end up seeing some people going for big undercuts, which means people going at when they normally would pit might end up being the ones with the advantage, but they'd have to come back. So we might see fights at the end with people in front on older tires. So it's got a lot going for it, this race.
As you can see, in the grid, there's more Ferraris like McLaren, so hopefully we can have a mix between them, not like every Ferrari in front and all the McLarens at the back. But for this we need to wait and see. I think all drivers are now in the grid. And we should have the 5 red lights. Now coming on 2, 4, 5 red lights. And the Christmas Classic is underway. It looks like a good start from Matthew. And from Nino as well. I think they're side by side still. No. Oh yeah, timings are a glitch, but Matthew looks like he's interlated turn 1. As one of the Ferraris is getting under pressure from one of the McLarens already. I don't know who there is, because the timings are glitched, and Pakistan picked up 3-second time penalty in the first 2 corners, and we have a crash at the back between E-Pop and Oli Flabel. And there's still Matthew leading the field away.
Oh, and it looks like a little bit of a pile-up around 8th place. It looks like Shane and Adam Corrigan getting through it. They're almost 3 wide, and actually someone spun into someone. That's a McLaren as well. It's Lancer Brun there, going around into the left barrier, getting spun around there. It looks like he clipped the end of someone's rear, which sent him round as
one of the Ferraris is going round.
Well,
oh my god. It's...
So it looks like every... yeah, you were mentioning there, that's Ross Denham as well.
Yeah.
So unfortunately a lot of crashes resulting in...
I think they were fixed now, as Matthew's already at 1.2 second lead. As Nino was overtaking Lewis on the first lap. And Brandon Glover directly behind him.
Lewis might be able to come back at him. Nino was a little out of sorts in the last exit. Lewis had a little better of one, although both of them trying to catch the car. These cars, of course, very difficult on traction sometimes. You kind of end up thinking, can you give more throttle than you actually can, as Lewis closes up just a little bit more, but it looks like nothing's going to come of that anytime soon.
As now Lewis is getting under pressure from Brandon Glover, who is in his slipstream. There's no DRS, I don't know if the car
and
is...
And Pakistan is...
DRS.
And Shane in on the first lap.
Front wing. I saw a few front wings
flying
away.
Yeah, front wing.
Yeah. So now Lewis is coming closer to Nino. Matthew is still leading away the field. As Nino cuts the rear at the corner. So now Lewis got a really good exit out of turn 5 or 6 it should be. And he's ahead. Now Brandon Glover is coming directly at the slipstream of Nino Romanello. They're side by side, and Brandon Glover is ahead. Can Nino Romanello maybe do something in the slipstream? As Brandon is also coming closer to Lewis.
Is going down the inside as well of Luke Baker.
I'm on board with them. As Adam is ahead.
And he makes a pretty easy move down the inside there.
But Luke got a good switchback there, as Adam lost a bit his back, and that's caused it. Sylvain and Luke are going side by side now and past him. Side by side, be careful guys. They are, and Luke is ahead for reverse, but can Sylvain do something against?
Oh, Adam Corrigan way off the track. I'm not really sure what happened. It was in, I think it was turn 11 there. Went way off to the left on entry. Not sure if it was his own doing. Doesn't look like he has damage or anything.
Spinning.
Ross Denham goes around in front of him.
Yeah. As I'm back with on board with Luke Baker. He's under pressure from Cyril Vestier, who got a better exit now on the start-finish straight. He's coming in his slipstream, going on board with him. He's not getting enough, but he's still like getting back the slipstream, and he backs off for the first. But now he got a way better exit than Luke Baker out of turn 2 should be. But it's not close enough to try and move into turn 3 or 4 it is. It was turn 3. But drivers need to be careful on the curbs with the cars. And Zero and Vessi are really getting the better exit out of every corner, is side by side. Through turn 7, Luke Becker pushed him off track. It's come back now on track in the slipstream. He's pulling out to the inside, not he's going back into the slipstream. He's not gaining enough, but really do the move. He tries, he goes down the inside. There is a bit of contact there. Now Luke needs to fight against Ivan King, and Luke's nearly spin out, but he saved his car there. As the Reese also passed Luke now. Interesting few battles.
It feels like a lot has happened and we're only on lap 3, so
No.
10 laps to go at the end of this lap, so maybe you could see more of the same, hopefully a little more racing, a little less spinning, as we have seen quite a lot of it right now.
It's good to see
it looks
that
like a little bit of a fight for 10th between these 3 Ferraris.
Yeah. And the fight between P5 and P8 or 9 is like all the 3 guys, so we should expect a few good fights there because they're nearly on the same pace. So I'm back in
No
the
DRS for these cars, of course, so it's a little more difficult to close up on the straights.
Yeah, that's more like...
No DRS either, so I guess there's that.
I don't think that the cars have DRS, I'm not sure. But it will be interesting because of...
Nah,
like,
they wouldn't.
what happened to Tom Jewell?
Because you can see on the bottom right as well, if they had ERS, it would show it. I mean, they definitely don't anyway, they're very old cars.
So they don't have the DRS definitely and the ERS, so it's like poor fighting with car performance. Or not car performance, it's also equal. So only on like pace. Getting better exits, switchbacks. It's pure racing now. As we have...
I just saw Reese March trying to go down the inside of Delta. I'm not sure of his actual name, if you know.
Ivan King.
But
Kingsley.
Ivan King, okay.
I don't know.
So yeah, Reese March was going down the inside of Ivan King, just couldn't make it work. As he closes up through the right-hander, it looks like a corner you have to brake for in these cars. Of course, in the 2020 cars, you certainly don't have to brake for it. It's an easy flat corner, so it looks like a lot more driver skill is involved with these cars, as especially on the exits, as we've seen people spinning. As speaking of spinning, Ivan King has actually got a little bit up on the curb, and it's going to allow Reese to close up just a little bit more. Maybe he might dive it down the inside. He's going to really close up. He is going to go down the inside as Reese March down in the final corner, and they're side by side in the exit, and it looks like the straight line speed of Reese March's car is going to propel him just enough to be ahead as he gets back in the slipstream, tries to move down the inside, but he's not going to be able to make it work, and Reese March does make it up into P6.
Yeah, as a Zero investor could build a little gap between him and Reese.
Oh, and I've just seen Ross then retire in the pits.
Yeah.
Maybe he has
Tom
to go
Jewell
or
also
something.
crashed out earlier in the last corner. But we still have Reese and Delta, both with time penalties, so maybe the guys behind them, Luke and Adam, could come into play to jump positions. What is going on between Brandon and Nino? Just saw Brandon a bit off track there. But Nino's past Brandon. What is about Delta? We have Tom Jewell in the chat saying, well, I'm out. Nothing unexpected.
Unfortunately not, yeah.
As Delta is
Hopefully it goes
in.
better for you in the next few races, Tom.
Yeah, hopefully. He just says wow in the chat. As Delta... Oh no, Roos... Who's Roos? Reese came a bit wide, but Delta wasn't going into the inside for a move. No problem, Tom. As Matthew again sets the fastest lap, he's already 5.4 seconds ahead, so the Matthew dominance is Still there. As
Yeah, just Matthew things really.
no,
Leading a race, it's
nothing
not
special.
something he isn't used to, we'll say that much.
Yeah, this sounds like nothing special seeing Matthew leading. It's more like an expected thing. Sadly, the front drivers just fighted and gave Matthew the time to build a gap. But it's still a four-way fight for P6. And looks like they're closing into Silver this year. Few penalties also in play, like for Reese and Ivan. It looks like Adam Corrigan is coming closer to Luke. Will he do a move into turn 8? He is on the inside and Luke shuts the door down pretty early and Adam gets 3 seconds time and he spun out. Out of turn 9. Which would be, I think, I'm not sure. Also forgot the...
I didn't actually notice. Did he clip the rear or did he spin on his own?
Oh, just spin on his own. I was
Well then I get to say bottle then.
Yeah. It's a bottle.
Oh, and he has no wing either. That is unfortunate for him, so he's likely gonna have to pit now.
Yeah.
As Matthew Oler sets another fastest lap. Nothing new.
Yes. As we have a few fights on track, like between Lance and Zandre. They're going for it. One in the McLaren, one in the Ferrari. What is about Zandre? Can he counter in the slipstream? He's gaining and gaining. On the way to turn 11 should be. And Zandre isn't doing a move. As I'm actually all the time wrong with the corner names. Or if I got it 2 weeks ago from the France race in FP.
Yeah, it looks like his exit out of turn 10 just wasn't good enough. It looks like he tried to set up a good exit, but he kind of hindered his entry a bit as well. So he really wasn't able to be close enough to Lance's. Actually, he's close enough now. He's hit him and he's got wing damage. So it looks like he's gonna have to pit now, as Lance should be able to push on. I think we missed a move. Shane. Actually, no, we didn't miss a move. Adam just pit. That's why Shane got past him. So nothing that we've actually missed elsewhere. As Sandre now, unfortunately, is going to most likely be losing time to Lance now.
For the both are closing into Jared. As Tom says in the chat, does Adam not know you don't have to pit? I don't know.
Well, he did have damage. That's why he pit in the first place. So.
Yeah, looks like then, as Tom says, that the driver don't need to pit.
Well,
That's
Tom doesn't need to pit anyway.
Yeah. He just says, oh, okay. Yeah, Tom, maybe in the next race. Just doing a bit jokes here. Instead of the fight between Delta and Luke going... Delta. Ivan. It's not the action like in the first few laps. Like in the first few places from P1 to P7, there's no one in the 1 second gap. Where we usually know as the DRS gap. But the DRS is not existing on these cars. Maybe in the next race with the 2003 Williams in Canada. Canada also a track with 3 DRS rates. Normally where it is good overtaking. But with the new, or better said new old cars, we're coming into this game. With this game, it's like, I don't know if they have the DRS. So we need to wait and see, but I
think DRS started in 2011 or 12.
Yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah, it
So
could be like
won't
a
be
Codemasters
seeing
logic.
DRS on the older cars.
Yeah, that's like maybe like Codemasters logic, giving the old cars the DRS, even if it wasn't not existing at this point. But maybe like in the Braun, from 2009 who will be racing in the third and last race in Bahrain. Maybe he's getting the era spot. I don't think that I will. Shane and
Is that Shane and
Pope. Yeah.
Jeremy Pope
Jeremy Pope. Okay.
getting past?
Don't look like that Jeremy can fight against him. Shane came a bit wide. And this Jeremy is coming closer, but he's not be able to do a move as Kameka lands past Jared, and Sandra passed him as well now. As Sandra has a big amount of slipstream here. As Sandra now overtaking Lance to turn 10. Lance is inside line counters, and Sandra is off track there. They're still side by side, Lance and Jared, but Lance looks like he is ahead. Yeah, he is for first. Jared a bit looking like he's struggling on the traction at the exit of the corners.
Yeah, and if he's struggling, then it might help Sondre out to maybe making a move soon on him. Of course, he does have damage, but it's not going to stop Sondre from maybe having a look into turn one. He's going to look for it down the inside, but I think the front wing is going to kind of halt him in his tracks, really.
But
because
he got
it's
good
just
switchback
not
there.
going to... He does actually get a good switchback, and he's going to make it up into P15, so we can maybe start chasing after Lance, unless Jared has anything to say about it. Nice little battle we're having right now.
Jared was defending on the outside pretty well, got the inside line, but now Sandra had the inside line, and it's a bigger amount there of time you can gain, and Sandra is ahead. Maybe
be interesting to know if losing
darker.
a small bit of your front wing makes too much of a difference, given that Sandra was able to make a move, and he's closing back up to Lance despite this damage. It's affecting his turn-in, but it doesn't seem like his exits are being hindered. If anything, maybe they're being helped by the less downforce. You never know.
Look at this guy, it's getting
he is
cloudier.
pushing on.
Maybe some rain.
Maybe some really late rain, make it a little slippery. I mean, these cars, I'm sure, won't like the rain. I don't think any of the drivers will want to see rain. The Sandra goes really, really deep. You can see when turn-in is really necessary that it's going to be hindering Sandra on the turn-in, and it's lost him a place there.
What's happening between Nino and
Paco
Lewis?
Suarez as well isn't too
Nino
far
and
off
Lewis
this battle.
fighting for P2 now. Side by side through turn 10. As Lewis picks up
Lewis
3
got a
second time
penalty as
penalty
well.
again. So maybe Brandon is coming to this fight, but I think Brandon will jump there on time penalties. But Sandra and Jared are now side by side on the start-finish straight into turn 1, but Sandra looks like he's ahead, but Jared looks for a little move there, but he hasn't done the move. As Jared comes round the outside into turn 1 and 2, good move from him. Sandra couldn't have the good switch back from the last lap here.
And all of a sudden Paco Suarez now is within a second of this train. Well, I say within a second, he's part of this train, really. Certainly by the exit of this corner he'll be part of this train, so he could be in this fight. As Lance Brun actually gets a really bad exit, he's going to hold up Sondre, and Paco's going to be able to go right round the outside. He'll have the inside for the next corner. He's going to be in the slipstream of Lance Brun. Jared has gone through for a double, well, not a double, he's made a place up on Lance Brun for P14. Paco's going to go down the inside. Maybe Sondre's going to look for something. You never know. As Lance Brun tries to go back up the inside, it looks like a nice little battle they're having. I would expect them to be in a party with each other. I wouldn't be surprised if these four were. So I'm sure they're having fun anyway.
Now. How the fuck, Matthew's nearly lapping them? That's interesting.
Not too many laps left either, yeah.
I think they're all was in the pit
And if they keep fighting like this, Matthew's pace would take a toll on that gap pretty quick.
They all
I would
was
assume.
in the pit already, and Paco has already done 2 pit stops.
As Lance, they're losing now 2 positions. He was ahead of this train initially, as Jared made up a place on Sundray and then made a place up on Lance. Paco's got 2 overtakes done as well. to go up into P15, and he's maybe going to be looking at a move on his former teammate way back in Season 5 of F2. These two were teammates. They took the constructors as well.
He is going into
Jared
inside.
was able to get the better of him, but maybe this time Paco can come back at him. A good exit as well. He taps Jared a little bit of context, but it doesn't look to have affected Jared too much, as he's going to go right around the outside. Now, still side by side, two different cars being used here as well. The McLaren and Ferrari. It's a very nice kind of checkered pattern here, as it's kind of one by one. McLaren, Ferrari, McLaren, Ferrari.
Matthew's gaining a lot. Paco now is side by side with Jared. He will definitely look for a move into the turn 9. I'm still not sure how. Oh, there was contact.
Paco's spun round. And this will definitely have Matthew lapping someone as he goes past Paco now. I'm sure Paco's fuming in that cockpit there. I mean, I'm sure he would have wanted maybe a bit more space. Maybe he expected a bit more space.
Lewis and Brandon fighting.
Going side by side, but
there's a big battle for P2 now. As Brandon is in the slipstream from Lewis. He's gaining and gaining all the way to turn 11. Or turn 10, one of both it is definitely. As Lewis has the inside line. And yeah, little advantage. As Brandon's still at the back of him. How's it looking in terms of time penalties? Okay, Brandon will definitely jump both of them. As Brandon is not enough to gaining. As Cyril Investier is close to Reese, and it will definitely jump in on time penalties. That's for sure. So far it's 100 pixels 3-second time penalty as well. As Jared and Lance going for it, side by side, all the way into turn 5. As Jared is now on the inside line. Lance defense good around the outside, also in turn 6. So Jared needs to fight him on the start finish on the back straight. It's between Reese and Sylvain. There's a bit of action. But I'm on board with Jared now. He's gaining again. He goes down the inside. He's not enough to overtake him. As they're getting ghosted from Matthew with lapping them in the last lap of the race.
I've seen Sondre with a 5-second pin there as well. He's not going to like that. As Matthew's about to lap these two, they don't care. They're still going at it. As Jared's trying to still make this move on Lance Brun here. As Matthew gets ever closer, he's right up the back from them. They'll have to answer now, I'm sure. If they want to avoid pens anyway. As he gets past... Oh, okay, I didn't need to see that camera angle. It just kind of took the back of Jared's car off, and you could see
look how good traction from Matthew is. But I will stay on board with Matthew until he crosses the line. It's like a typical Matthew Older, dominating the whole race with 14 seconds of time penalties. He's on the start finish
side
race.
Side by side to the line between Jared and Kamikaze. Lance, I mean,
Jared
and
got
it looks like Jared gets it on pens, but Lance had it on track.
Yeah, and Matthew wins ahead of Nino coming, but I think Brandon could jump him. Will Brandon
take it on pens? It looks like he will.
Yes, he is.
He does.
So it's by Lewis. Lewis stays in P4. Silver Investier on P5 currently. With a time penalty, I don't think that Ollie will jump him. So Silver Investier comes across the line, got P5. Ollie Flavel looks like he's getting P6. It says yes. Reese gets P7. No, Luke gets P7.
Oh,
Reese
I think that's because Luke ran out of fuel.
Yeah, but Luke jumps to P7.
It looks like he ran out of fuel just before the line.
Yeah, Reese drops to P8, Delta to P9. Ari is crossing the line in P10. He will stay there for sure. As Shane is coming to the line on P11. Jeremy Pope for P12. And Adam Corrigan is the last guy to cross the line to get P13. And First of the 3 races is finished. Also, the start of the race was really, like, very good in terms of driving. A few big fights there, and also in the last laps with Saunders, Jared, Paco, and Lance fighting for it. But anyway, Mafiola wins the first of the 3 races.
Indeed he does, and of course in dominant fashion, even getting to lap a few people. Nino, on pace, he was actually pretty good. Of course, Brandon was able to take it on pens, but yeah, you have to say Nino's performance was quite good today as well.
Yeah, he
Well,
is.
in this race at least, there's 2 more left, I say today, but yeah.
Yeah, and the finishing order is again Mafiola winning ahead of Brendan Glover, Nino Romanello, Lewis Curtis, Sylvain Vessier, Ollie Flavel, Luke Baker, Reese March, Ivan King or Kinsley, I don't know, Ari Shane Calais, Jeremy Pope, Adam Corrigan, George Fosbury, Andre Zarhog, Lance Reburn, Paco Suarez, and the 2 generals are Ross Denholm and Tom Jewell, who said in the chat he enjoyed his 3 laps. Okay then, we need to wait until that new order. We're staying in the lobby, I think. We're just switching cars and track because we're going now on to Canada with the beautiful 2003 Williams. Maybe we can see that like Luis, and Brighton maybe can challenge a bit with Matthew. But yeah, we will see. There's a few people going for it in the Discord. Yeah, as we're the car is setting in to the 2003 Williams, the FW25. As a few people like Tom thinking they were funny getting the 2010 Red Bull. As Matthew needs to get in his car, same as Jeremy, Adam, Ollie, and we're both staying in our commentator seat.
Looks like someone else joined as well, so we get a full grid.
I think it should be Luke Quinlan. He joined alongside the race. So we're waiting until the driver is getting the green flag to ready up. Or the call, better said. As Ollie goes in the wrong car. Now he's in the right one. As the car performance was or is realistic now, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure if you're able to make it equal thinking about it for the classics.
I'm not sure either.
Because then it's like, what do you make it equal to? Because you can't really make it the 2020 pace. So
No.
you think maybe you make it like the quickest of the class, but then it's like they all handle quite differently as well. Because they're quite older cars, so I don't think you can. Or it doesn't make sense that you would be able to, in my mind.
Could also be. As I don't know if the people are getting set. It should be ready up. Now it is. Then we're going back to Montreal in Canada. All the way back last season. We drove in the first round of the championship this car. It was also my first racing comms. So yeah, let's see how the race is going. the one to quali. We have a few drawers in the chat. Sondre is saying, well, that was fun first race. I agree, Sondre, and Lance is happy that he finished the race. As I don't know, I read something about it. The drivers can't pick a setup or a fixed setup.
Oh, can you see what I see in the pit lane with all the guys standing there?
Yeah, it's
That
funny
is a little
thing.
creepy.
That looks.
They're all standing in the same pose.
Yeah, like I don't know what they're doing. They're standing under like I don't know what it's called in English, but yeah, it looks quite funny. As we're in the 100 quali with the 2003 Williams. Matthews leading into turn 1, he goes wide, didn't invalidate this lap, but he's all the way back now on P18. Brandon is now leading. And this, oh my god, this beautiful sound, I'm staying on board. Going through turn 5 now. Brandon still leading into turn 6 and the end of the first sector. Ahead of Lewis and Matthew is coming back strong. Brandon still in the lead on the second DRS rate. Coming now down to turn 8 and 9, the little fast chicane here, easy to invalidate on the inside there. As now we are ending sector 2, Brandon still leading out of Matthew. Into the hairpin, who is turn 10. Comes a bit wide, got a good exit, a little slippery there. But he's still leading, and the cars don't have the DRS, which was no surprise. And that's only now the World of Champions chicane. Who is getting up Paul, Matthew or Brandon? Matthew's ahead of Brandon.
Yeah, I was on board with Brandon and he didn't have the best turn in for the first.
How close! Oh my god!
Right.
That was close.
Very close. Just a little bit better of a turn in for the right-hander, and Brun would have had it easy. He just messed it up a little bit, and it compromised his exit too much.
Matthew took pole. Not a surprise, and look how much drivers already disqualified from the session for cutting corners.
It's just finishing like Lance Brun did would get you 8th.
He got P8. As 100 pole is now done, we are hopping directly to the race. As our starting grid is Matthew Alder getting pole with 29 100ths of a second out of Brandon Glover, Nero Manello, Oliver Lavelle, Tom Jewell, who finished his lap. Ross Denham, Ivan King or Kingsley, I don't know, Lance Brun and Ari. All the disqualifiers are getting the row of Louis Quinlan, Paco Suarez, Jared Fosbury, Sylvain Vessier, Shane Calais, Adam Corrigan, Sandra Zarag, Lewis Curtis, Jeremy Pope, Luke Baker and Reese March.
Who knew more than half the grid would invalidate?
Yep. Okay, it's Ivan King, not Kingsley. I don't know where I got this from. But it's Ivan King. That I'm not calling him wrong. Just looked at it. Oh, it's raining! A bit of rain. That's what I wanted to see.
And these cars a little more recent. They're very quick in the straights, but they're by no means quick in the corners, and this is certainly going to slow them down anyway in the corners as well.
Indeed. Reserves for the second left until formation lap goes on. If I see the cars right, I still have fitted the dry tires, or I am wrong. It looks like, but we will see in 1 second. It's the dry tire. Oh, is it? No, it's a wet tire. Oh, I don't know. I need to put telemetry on. It is the dry tire. So yeah. Everyone fitted a dry tire there. So no one who thinks he would be better running. As
I think it's gonna be one
who
of
was
those
starting out
races
of
that
the?
are.
Someone was starting out of the pits. Okay, but it looks like on the map. I think definitely all drivers practice every car, even like 1 or 2 laps in the dry. But I don't think that a few drivers will practice in the wet. So maybe a little crash, but I don't hope to see him. But yeah, will be interesting for the race. So we have this time we have 18 laps because of the track is shorter. So we have to predict a pit stop strategy with nothing special, just a dry tire. So Matthew is like slowing them all down. Someone was going through. Okay, I don't know who that was.
Oh, that's Ollie Flavel who just ran away from the field there.
Oh, but I can say something, Kevin, this car sound is just beautiful. The
Yeah, they
V12s.
certainly are.
And we will see, like,
And quite
in the
quick in the straights as well.
Yeah, they're like flying around the straight. And
If
also in the Braun next
people
race.
play their cars right on fuel, then maybe at the end we could be seeing some overtakes.
Yeah. But we will see the same car engine sound in the Braun, I think. But a bit more updated, the car. Silent31 says in the chat is going to be a mess. We will see if it is right what he said. As we're waiting until the last drivers coming to the grid. Then we can start the second Christmas Classic event now. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And away we go. Time is a glitch as usual. This looks like Brandon got a good start, but I don't have a good camera angle. Smith is still leading. Brandon maybe looking for a switchback. No, it's not. Some crashes in the back. No, it looks like it was all clean. And few cars off track.
Yeah, it looks pretty pretty clean in the back. It looks like Ari has had a bit of a spin, but it looks maybe it was on his own though. As he spins again, no damage for him either. He's still in turn 2, unfortunately for him. Jeremy Pope not having the best time.
Oh, that was contact.
And actually, there's
Paco
someone
again.
down the inside there. That's Paco.
Unfortunately.
I think that was Sandre's. Well, maybe I'm not completely sure. As we get a
Shane's
yellow
also in
flag
the
as
wall.
well. Yeah, it was Shane and Paco going around. A virtual safety car.
We see what a chaotic start there. A lot of contact, a lot of spinning cars. Nothing what we wanted to see, but it's that's racing. But I don't think that we lost only Ari and Shane on the group as Paco's drives through penalty for Ollie Flavel. That's not good, but what is about Brandon? He's close to Matthew, but not close enough. And we start lap 2 now. As Adam Corrigan's first guy to pick up a 3-second time penalty. So I'm still watching a battle for leaders. You have someone in the World Champions chicane, or it was like Paco and I don't know. But Paco definitely was in the World of Champions. It's Brandon.
And it's actually looking like the same as last race of just yours. Top 3, the same and in the same order. Matthew, Brandon, Nino.
Yes, Brandon looks like he's a bit confidenter than Matthew. Matthew gets every time a really good exit off the corner. As Tom Jewell and Ross Denham, both DNS from the last race, are sitting P4 and P5. As Brand locks massively up. I'm still on board with him.
Oh, is that a spin from Jared maybe?
No, no one
Maybe
spin.
not or Adam? No?
Still looking at them are
I
fighting.
did see something happening around 7th, 8th, someone dropping anyway. As Jared is gonna, I can say, go down the inside of Lancer Brun into the final chicane, and he's gonna get that move up into P7.
Brandon and Matthew fighting. Brandon is on the inside of Matthew Aller. Yeah, he's slippery back and there, and he will back off for the moment, as Matthew is really struggling in these conditions. Maybe one of two or two drivers are switching to the wets.
Wait, what happened
Tom.
to Nino?
You're damn right, what
7th
happened? Yeah, what happened, damn right. Something happened for them, but Tom
Losing
Jewell
quite
and
a lot of positions.
Ross, as you have a safety car. There's a lot of
Bran and
action.
Matthew won't like that. I think Bran especially won't like that because he was looking to maybe be able to make a move on Matthew. He looked to be a little more on it, and this bunch up means the grid obviously gets bunched up together. Maybe a little pressure from behind that Bran wouldn't have wanted.
Maybe we see one or two drivers pitting, but what I wanted to say is, like, I don't want to call wrong things, but it looks like that Brandon is confidenter than Matthew in the wet. Looks like Brandon is like a bit better than Matthew, but Matthew gets all the time such a good exit that you can still fight against
top
him.
two pitting anyway. We'll see if Tom Jewell stays out or pits. I assume most of them will be staying out.
I think a few guys
damage
on the back of the field will maybe pit. They have nothing to lose. But,
yeah, Fezier's going to be going in. Luke Baker and Adam Corrigan, who looks to be taking an adventurous entry into the pit lane, are going to come in, and Ollie Flavel also is going to be following them in. Most people behind actually staying out. We'll see if Louis Quinlan comes in. He is going to dive
Luke
into the pits, and I'm assuming Curtis
Sylvain,
is... No, he's going to stay out.
Sylvain and Ollie switching to the wet tires.
Wets, yeah.
There's no inters for them, that's for sure. As Lewis will maybe get ahead of Luke. Luke's coming out now, now Luke is ahead. And Luke Quinlan also in the pits, he stays on his dry tires. What is about Paco? That gives no, especially Paco and Shane getting advantage of the safety car because they was dropping away off the field because of they spun one or two times at least. So yeah, Mr. Field's only waiting for Paco's Ferraris to close in. As Paco's still
It'll be interesting
struggling.
to see if Bevezier and Ollie will be able to benefit now. As the grid gets bunched up. If everyone else has gotten the call now, there is spray coming off those tires. So, no, everyone is staying out still. So it looks like a gamble right now. No one else really looking to be doing the same. But you can see spray, especially on the wet tires. It is flicking up some rain. And they themselves are staying out, so I guess they think that it's a good enough strategy. As we'll see, Ollie will most likely... No, he's actually going to come back in.
Yeah,
so Ollie maybe not thinking it's time for wets, but as he comes in, there's so much spray. So maybe he might be regretting that.
No, he's switching to
It doesn't look like the dries have any spray right now, but the wets are kicking up some water.
Yeah, look at Silver Investor's car. It definitely comes spray off. And it's still raining. But I don't think that... It's like the guys in the front don't want to lose track position. And that's the main thing why they like when Matthew's coming in and Brandon and Tom, like the rest also coming in or later. Or just... I don't know. It's tricky to call it, but safety car is coming in the step, then we're going back on board with Matthew for a restart.
And it looks like Ollie, after a second stop, will at least catch up to the grid. Shane and Paco might not have the same fortune, as it looks like Louis may have left lobby.
Matthew's not picking up the pace. Maybe he's waiting until the exit. As he's going now, Brandon didn't get advantage of it. As we have Delta and Jared, no, Ivan and Jared going for it, and Jared got
Nino
contact
actually
with,
going really
yeah.
deep in turn one, gets taps Ross Denholm a little bit, and puts him in a little bit of a spin. So Nino's able to make a position off that anyway, and he pushes on to the group of three. Really, as Brandon and Matthew already getting a gap of 1 second to the rest of the grid, so you can see really who's going quick in this race. As Nino tried to go down, or no, actually, maybe Nino lost the back end there because he
Look
lost
at the
the position again.
5 10. There's like cars on the whole track, but now they're closing in. As Lewis on the inside of Sylvan Vessier. As Vessier got such a bad exit, Ollie is passing him already as well. As Ollie passes Luke. Okay, and he's on the inside now on Jeremy Pope to the hairpin. But looks like Jeremy's fighting back, and we have saw Lewis spinning in the back there. And still the fat group there, I'd call it. Like 5 cars. Oh, there's contact between 2 drivers! Just slammed each other into the wall.
Oh, and
this
also
yeah.
Ross Denholm going around.
Yeah,
he wasn't tapped by anyone. He went round on his own.
Jeremy is off now. Because of the contact, someone just drove into him on the straight. I don't know why or what happened. But our little group is now separated as Nino settled back of Jared Forsberry. I just thought that, like, it looks like it was Jeremy who got contact with someone just when someone was just like pushing him into the wall. I didn't have a good eye on that, who that was, but Jeremy is out. As Matthew got his I missed that Brandon passes Matthew, and Matthew got a 3-second time penalty. Maybe we will see Tom Jewell jumping Matthew Alder. That will be an interesting story. As Sandra is on the inside of Adam Corrigan now into the hairpin. And he is still side by side with him. He also is down now the spot to Luke. No, he isn't. As Sandra is in the slipstream of Adam Corrigan now. He's gaining and gaining and gaining. He's pulling out to the inside. Adam is also going down the inside on Lance LeBron as Sandra just lost his back end on underbraking.
Yeah, it's looking to get a little bit more slippery for these guys right now.
Yeah, but
if you just go on
underbraking.
board with them, you can see how much they're fighting the car. And yeah, I mean, if you have no ABS, especially going into corners, it would kind of up the likelihood of your tires locking if they're slippery as well.
Oh, the drivers are so fighting against car. I'm on board at the moment with Nino. It's just fighting in every corner on the I forgot to say a word. It's just like on every exit, on every turn in. It's like the car is just so slippery on these tires. I would not wonder that someone is picking us needed
massive
to avoid
lockup for Nino Romano there.
Yeah, he needed to avoid contact with Jared there. I think it would be the right decision for some drivers to come in. Brandon and Matthew not.
And that's Luke Baker. It looks like Lance Brun tried to go down the inside with a bit of a dive bomb, but maybe didn't work out as he wanted it to, and went deep. Luke Baker was able to get him back on the exit, and they kind of switch places and switch back.
Yes, indeed. As Ari says in the chat that the car is deaf under braking. Okay, that's definitely interesting. So maybe we'll just see some pit stops now. But definitely no one wants to lose his position. So we need to wait and see for the driver's decisions. As Sandra looks like he spun a bit. Still at the back of Matthew and Brandon. Matthew is not gaining enough. He's still behind Brandon. Unfortunately, I missed overtaking from Matthew. But it looks like Matthew and Brandon don't have the problems under braking with the car. That's interesting. Our only active battle in the moment is for P13 between Sandra, Sylvain and Shane. Shane goes by, Sylvain on the inside. Gets the better exit. Bit of tap there from Shane. Now Sandra could get through. As Sylvain didn't give Sandra space on the inside there. Okay, that's interesting, as Shane's now gaining on Sandra. As Sandra's still fighting for the inside line. And he stays in his position. We're again on board with Matthew and Brandon. Matthew still has the time penalty. If Brandon is not getting a penalty, he has pretty much his secured win. If he's not spinning out, 8 laps left.
Oh, and I just saw Sandre. He spun around in, what is turn 4, I think? Looks like a little incident with Shane there. It looks like Shane's actually slowed down so Sandre can catch back up. It's a good gesture from him.
That could be. He's not on full throttle. There's Nino and Ollie fighting into turn 1. Nino goes round the outside. Didn't give Ollie enough space on the inside there, but Ollie saved his car. As now Ollie is at the back of Nino. Didn't get a better exit out of turn 2 or 1. As they're closing into Jared. Nino the only guy in this little fight with a time penalty. As Ollie is in situation, also is Nino and Jared. But in this rate no one's close enough to try a move. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 DNFs currently. Nino locks up again, same with Ollie. So Andrew picks up the 3-second time penalty. And Luke and Louis is ghosted, so I think he is out of the lobby. And yeah, you're damn right. Kevin, Shane and Sandra are fighting now.
Oh, Nino tried it on the inside, it didn't really look on. But he tried to make a move happen on Jared, couldn't make it work. And he's gonna have to stick behind once again, these two fighting. Like they were not too long ago. And Nino's gonna have a better exit, he's gonna try it. Last time Nino tried to move, he locked up and lost about a second or two. He's made that time back up. He's gonna be trying everything he can to make this move stick, but he's not gonna be able to do it. And now Ollie Flavel, of course he was one of the ones who paid. He's on fresher tires, he's gonna be able to go around Nino and take P5 away from him. So instead of Nino making a place, he's actually lost one.
Yeah. There's always some closing in on Jared into the hairpin. Oh, he locks up and there's contact.
Oh, and he's hit. Oh, and there's both of them
and Nino's
round.
also going in to Ollie. Hopefully no wing damage for them. As behind them is Delta and Reese. I don't know why I'm saying every time Delta. It's Reese and Ivan. So Reese now in the switch room of Ivan King. He's gaining and gaining and gaining. He pulls out to the inside line to move into the chicane. And he is at, because of looks like that Ivan backed off into the chicane to avoid some contact. But Nino and Ollie still fighting. Some Jewel is still sitting P3 and Jared in P4. Olive level, did he hit it twice? Or I'm wrong. Yeah, he hit it twice and he is in P5. Good effort from him. After 2 bits of sitting in P5 is a good performance.
I have to agree on that one, but performance that I'm especially impressed with is Tom Jewell sitting in third. Of course, he said the last race didn't exactly go well, and I'm pretty sure the quote was that, well, I hit the wall. I guess now it would be, well, I'm in P3, because that's exactly where he is, and he's quite comfortably P3, 5 seconds ahead of Jared Fosbury.
Yeah, that is right, and Matthew is 1.8 seconds behind Brent Glover, so it looks like that Brent will win this race. As Jared pays a 3-second time penalty, that will definitely help Ollie, who's now going on the outside with him side by side on the way to turn 1. Ollie has the inside line, and he is ahead. Maybe is Jared looking for a switchback now. He's not be able to do a switchback there, so Ollie is now in P4. If it would like go horribly for Tom Jewell, Ollie will come up to Tom in the last few laps, and I didn't saw it, but it stopped raining.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that either. It has stopped raining.
I don't know how much laps ago it could be, but yeah. There's still the fight between Nino and Jared. For P6 both has, I think, 1 second of time penalty. No, Nino has 3. And Matthew has 6 seconds of time penalties. But he's at the new fast lap of the race. That's Luke and the gossip car of Louis fighting. That's definitely interesting. As Shane and Sandra still fighting. Sandra, did Sandra leg out or was he got lapped? He got lapped from Adam. P9, okay. That's unexpected. But still Louis and Luke fighting each other. Looks like that Louis lagged out because there's some red X over his name, or next to his name. That's definitely interesting, but it looks like that Brent Glover is not bowling will win the race because of maybe has 6 seconds of time penalty. Senior still the back of Jared. As Brandon sets a fast lap and Matthew just slapped him and sets his fast lap on the table. As now Nino got the good exit out of the chicane. He goes for a move down the inside on Jared Fosbury. Jared is looking for a switchback and it didn't work out for him, unfortunately. But as I said, Ollie's closing in on on Tom. Only 3.3 seconds between them, but I don't think that Ollie will be close enough to try a move in the last 3 laps. Still Investier is close to Luke Baker and he's now on the inside. And still side by side through turn 6 and 7. Still Investier got the better exit out of turn 7. And he is ahead. Can Luke fight back? No, he can't. And still Investier got P10. As Matthew passed Brandon a few moments ago, but Brandon got already a penalty. I missed that. So if Matthews be able to drive out a 3-second time penalty, then Matthews just like I don't know even more how to call it.
Oh, someone spun at that's Sondre in the final corner. That's what the yellow flags are for. He's really not having a good time. He's in last. He's not too far off Shane right now. It looks like him and Shane maybe have been fighting a little bit, but yeah, Sondre goes round again.
Yes, Luke is fighting with the AI of Louis Quinlan. Matthew against its fastest lap. But Brandon is still in this 3-second window where he needs to do. Yeah, when we finish this race, we're going on to Bahrain with the Brawn. Will also be an interesting and action-filled race, I think. Okay. As Ollie is in the 1-second gap between him and Tom, but I don't think that Ollie will be close enough to do a move on the casino straight, I think it calls. As he's gaining, but it will be not close enough. But I'm going on, but now with Matthew Alder, who wins on track, but he'll be charmed by Brandon Glover, who wins now the second Christmas Classic race. What is about Tom Jewell and Ollie Flavel? Would be typical Tom Jewell move. He gets the 3-second time penalty now. He's not getting a 3-second time penalty, but maybe Ollie with a better exit. It will be definitely close between them, but Tom takes P3 and Ollie P4 after 2 pit stops. Nino gets P5. Jared will get P6. Reese on his way to get P7. What is about Adam and Delta? Who will be out of them? No one's jumping each other. Then Silver Investier gets P10. Luke Baker comes home in P11. And oh no, Luke Quinlan jumps up to P10. The case goes Luke gets P11. Syrian drops down to P12. Sondra and Shane already finished with P14 and P15 as we're waiting for Lance Rebron to cross the line to end up the second race of the Christmas Classic.
And if we were to look at the championship, I'm pretty sure Matthew took the fastest lap both times, which means that he would be 2 points ahead of Brandon Glover then.
As Tom is really happy in the chat.
Close at stop.
But Brandon took the win ahead of Matthew and Tom Jewell. A 3 driver on the podium. Good job, mate.
Yeah, that's a deserved P3 from Tom.
I'm happy for him after his last race, where he DNF'd, but our finishing result for this race is Brandon Glover ahead of Matthew Orler, Tom Jewell, Ollie Flavel after 2 pit stops. Great recovery drive. P5 for Nino Romanello, Jared Fosbury in P6, P7 goes to Reese, Adam got P8, Ivan P9, Louis Quinlan, AI got P10, Luke Baker P11, Sylvan Vessier P12, Lance Riemann P13, Saunders Soroka P14, Shane P15, our DNFs are Ross Denham, Jeremy Pope, Lewis Curtis, Paco Soros, and Ari. And Lance is happy in the chat saying he finished another race. That's a record for me. Good to see Lance. They finished race again. Hopefully you can hold this for the next race. As we're going back into the lobby for our third race, will be in Bahrain with the Braun GP from 2009.
And they did say that we'll have to wait for Nino for this race, so it's going to be a little bit of a late start, unfortunately.
Already a few drivers switching the cars directly. As we're having now the right track, here is Bahrain. Again, 1 quality 25% race, but this time I think there will be definitely no rain. Would be a Codemaster's logic if there will be some rain in the desert. You just saw what Tom wrote in the Discord.
I just clicked out of it to check the stream. I'm going to go back to.
He just say, "Please really lick my balls."
Sounds about right for Tom.
And he says in the chat, "Last one to swipe, Jared Frostbury is gay." Also, I tagged him. But Jared's definitely not gay. But you can never know.
You can never know.
Maybe some drugs things going in the background. But Brandon told the drivers to ready up. And a typical Joe, a typical Tom last one to ready up is gay. Oh my god, Tom is just a person for himself. Last one to ready up is gay. Then let's see who is gay. It's Ivan King, it looks like. Yeah.
Well, if he doesn't ready up, then he's
Okay,
not the
then
last one to ready
then
up.
yeah, then it's a different thing. But definitely no one is gay here. Yeah. It's every time fun of Tom Jura. But we are loading. Sandra says in the chat, "Oh, oof, that rain was horrible." Yeah, it looks like, and we have our man's back standing there in yeah. It looks like a bit funny, like, yeah, I don't know.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's Codemasters.
It is Codemasters.
Oh my god. But we're in the...
And here we go.
Yeah, here we go. Shane is leading away. I just need to get a trap actually on. So I want to comment on. So here we go. Who's leading? It's Delta. Okay, that's interesting. We're in turn 4. And the beautiful Braun GP of 2009. Now turn 5, 6, and 7. A little tricky chicane, and Matthew Alder is back in the lead. Who is no surprise as he nearly spun.
He might not be after that though. He had a little bit of a correction. Fezzer is going to be able to get back past him.
So in turn
momentarily
10.
At least.
Will they have the DRS? No, they don't. Nothing unexpected. We're in turn 11 now, as Matthew is back in the lead. Through turn 12 we go, on way to turn 13. Matthew's still in the lead, as Søren Besser and Delta, called Ivan, are comfortably sitting, as Brendan jumped Delta and Ivan now. As Matthew Alder is coming to the line to get pole position out of Civil Investigator, Brandon Glover, Delta. Well, no one who disqualified. Oh, no. A few disqualifications. But qualifying is done. As our credit for our last race of this Christmas Classic will be Matthew Alder took the third pole position, I think it is. Or yes, should be. The Silver Investigator was sitting comfortably as a F3 driver in, or F2 driver in P2. Out of Brandon Glover, Ivan King, Aldi Flevel, Paco Suarez, Jared Forsberry, Luke Baker, Ross Denham, no, Adam Corrigan, then Ross Denham, Tom Jewell, sadly in P11 after his P3 last race, Jeremy Pope in P12, then we have Lance Lebron, Ari, Shane Callear, Sondre Sorhawk, and Reese Mouch. Only 17 drivers this time, not 20 like in the last race, so a few drivers left. Us. So yeah.
Hopefully we have a good last race.
Yeah, hopefully. Bahrain is a track where we have some good battles. 3 DRS on us again. And Silver Investigator is an S3 driver. Last race we saw Tom Jewell as a F3 driver finishing in P3. Now we have Silver Investigator in P2 as an F3 driver. Good to see the F3 drivers up there. So formation lab is on the way. Still we have our D-Tyre, the Tri-Tyre. As someone just...
Oh, okay.
What happened to the to the Pirelli sign there? Or I don't know which it was.
Okay. Someone hit it, I'm not completely sure who, but someone clearly was a little annoyed with Pirelli, maybe thinking these tyres are better, saying what is Pirelli doing giving us these less durable tyres? I don't know.
Maybe. But one thing is for sure, when we're heading back to Bahrain, we're in game, that's for sure, but there will definitely no big fire like what happened to Grosjean in real life. Thank God that he is still alive after this horrible crash.
Mm.
As the strategy is like the same in the last races, it's a 0 stop or a 1 stop. Normally I would say just Matthew should do a challenge, just do the 1 stop, and let's see then how he's finishing. But he has definitely tough challenges, so he won't. But I'm then not sure who is now leading the championship of this little Christmas
Yeah,
Classic.
it should be Matthew
I feel
right
with
now,
1
because
point.
he had a win in the second.
Yeah.
Obviously, Brian had the second and the first, but he took both fastest laps. Matthew
Yeah.
did, so he should be 2 points ahead. If
So
they're
Brandon needs
doing it
to
that way.
Yeah, Brandon needs to win. Check shortly your Discord, Kevin. As we're waiting for the lights of our last race. Here we go. 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And the last race is underway. It looks like a good start from Matthew. And also from Sylvester. And someone crashed out directly. Okay, that's interesting. As Sylvester is on the inside. And what the fuck what was Paco doing there? As Sylvester is ahead of Brandon Glover. Sylvester is leading ahead of Matthew Alder. Behind him we have Delta looking.
Yeah, and I just saw some
aggressive there.
people taking a little of an adventurous route down the previous straight. 2 people completely off the track. Not really sure what happened there. There's another 2 people off the track. That's Paco and Reese and March there just went off. Brandon Glover dropping to 17th already. So I guess he was the one who went around in turn 1. Maybe he was trying to get past Matthew Alder, which might explain why Matthew's in second. There's 2 people almost in the wall there. Looks like Tom Jewell almost.
There was
get the
contact
wall. He
between
may have hit his
Adam
rear
Corrigan
wing.
and Ross Denholm. And Cyril Investor still leading ahead of Matthew Alder. That's definitely what a good thing to see. But maybe Brandon was the guy who was directly flying out at the start of the race, because when he was going up to turn 1, there was a car ahead of turn 1 being spun into the wall. So maybe he was that. But I'm looking over with Matthew Alder, who is backing off for the moment and not doing a move into the last corner, as he's now gaining and gaining in the slipstream of Silver Investor. He's defending the inside line. No, it is not anymore, so Matthew Alder will go down the inside on Silver Investor. Into turn 1 we go. Sylvan is behind Matthew now, and Matthew is now back in the lead. But can Sylvan maybe do something into turn 3? Should be. It is turn 4. Sylvan Investor trying everything what he can, but Matthew has just a better exit than him. Behind him we have Ollie and Delta. I don't know what I'm saying every time. Delta. Ivan fighting.
Yeah, that would be turn 14, by the way. I just had a look. Final corner is 14.
Okay, thank you. I need to open the track map as well. No, okay. Now I got it. What is about the train? We have a little train here. Ollie is obviously the closest guy. So Ollie got a better exit than Ivan, but the straight is just too short to try and move into turn 14. But he got a way better exit than Delta. He's in the slipstream, and he is obviously gaining, but it's not that much. He's pulling out to the inside, and Tom Jewell unfortunately retired, as Oliver is on the inside of Ivan King. Ivan King is fighting back around the outside. There's now the inside line. They're still side by side on the way to turn 4. Side by side, but it looks like Ollie is ahead. Or he has the inside line now. Can Ivan fight him back? Yes, he can, and he comes off track, back on track, and he's now ahead. And Jared Fosbury just slided through on the moment where Ivan was off track. Definitely a good battle. As Jared now looking, there's a bit of contact. As Jared's pushing through the whole corner. Can Jared maybe do a move on the Flavel into turn 11? Now he's backing off for first. Nice Matthew. Just doing a Matthew. As Ollie's back in the 1 second window. But anyway, with Brandon sitting P16, it should be a secured win of the Christmas Classic for Matthew. It will be the second in a row for him. He lost obviously last year's Christmas Classic. As Shane came close to Jared there, but he slided a bit out of turn 1. As Ollie is close to Sylvain, who is still sitting in P2. As Sylvain came so wide, but still got the better exit than Ollie, who is gaining now. Goes for a move. No, he's not. But there's contact between them that will cost some time. That will cost Ollie some time. But he's still behind. Ross picks up a racing time penalty. As Ollie is still gaining on Sylvain. Into turn 14, no move. There will be definitely a chance for Ollie. Oh, he nearly spin his safety car, goes into the gravel. There could be a chance over for trying a move to turn 1. But it's about Ivan on Jared. Both are not close enough. Ori pulls out for a moment. As Sandra Sorrox on the inside of Frost Denom. And he just spins it into turn 1. Okay. And he picks up 3-second time penalty. But still got a better exit than Ross. It looks like Sandra is getting a good race.
And come back.
He's in the inside and he is ahead. Ross can't counter him. Sandra is in P6, it's
and
very
also
good to see.
Lancer Brun and Ori going side by side. Ori making the move at the exit of turn 1. It looks like he had a much better exit out of turn 2, which pretty much secured the deal.
Indeed, as Shane nearly got an overtake down on Ross because of Ross came wide. But it looks like that Sandra has finally a good race. What was that? Yes, Ollie now finally very close to 7. Hopefully, no, this time no slippery backhand. Yes, and now he has the not the DRS. He's only gaining in slipstream and slipstream. He's gaining. Sylvain's not defending the inside line. We're going into turn 1. Ollie on the inside. Will Sylvain fight it around the outside? Yes, he is. He has now the inside line, and Ollie needs to fight around the outside, and he's still ahead. But Ollie got the better exit now. He's in his slipstream, gaining. This time Sylvain defends the inside line. Ollie needs to go the long way on the outside, maybe in switchback. Yes, he is going for the switch, but he backed off because of a safety car. Okay,
Yeah, I was for Lancebrun and
yeah,
Ori. Looks like
what's
both of
happened?
them
What the fuck?
ended
What
up
happened to
retired.
them?
I
Whoa.
am not completely sure, but it looks like maybe one spun, which brought the other into the wall
Yeah,
at the exit of
yeah, I just
turn
saw it
14.
because of I saw Brandon trying past him just like on the inside line on the inside of the pit entry. As Lance is saying, oof in the chat, yeah, Lance, really unfortunate that you didn't finish the race and get your 3 finishes in a row. That's very unfortunate for you. As Lance is apologizing. Okay. So you're in lap 6 of 14. Matthew, although 9 seconds in the lead, but the lead will be denied by the safety car now. As the safety car is waiting between turn 3 and 4. This time maybe we see no Tom Jewel passing the safety car.
Interestingly, Pavesier and Olifavo both opting to pit.
What? Why? Maybe some front wing changes? There's no front wing change.
Doesn't look like it.
For Oli, also no front wing damage. Okay.
And Ollie's actually gonna jump him in the pit lane.
Yeah.
So he's gonna come out in 7s. Of course, he's gonna have fresh tires. Very much,
yeah.
quite a lot fresher than the people ahead of him. Of course, this did work out for him in the last race, where he was able to easily make up time after he put on those fresh tires. So I guess we'll see how it works out for them. A few more people at the back pitting.
I didn't expect someone pitting, but it could be a good strategy call from Oli and BVS here. Sirin. But we need to wait and see.
I think his thinking is that he won't beat Matthew on track. He'll probably still end up getting second as long as he doesn't get any pens. So maybe it's better to try and out-strategize him.
But for this, Oli needs to fight his way through the field first. And hoping that Jared will hold up Matthew a bit. So we're waiting for Jeremy Pope to close into the field, and then I think that safety car will come in this lap.
Apologies if you can hear stuff in the background.
Oh, good mate. I have nothing to talk about. Normally I would talk over it. But I don't know what I should talk about. Just watching the cars. And a bit of, yeah, listening to the car sound. Also the new cars, the modern cars, the 2020 cars is all some good good sound, but the old V12s just like, yeah, that's just a beautiful sound.
It certainly is. I
But
guess the
safety
focus
car
really
is
would be
coming
on
in
Ollie
this lap.
Flavel now as the safety car comes in this lap
Yeah.
finally. Of course, Ollie he's first of the people with the best tires on the grid, so he should be able to make moves. And I mean, he has proven it even in the last race that he is quicker than these guys. I mean, he's also an F1, so you would expect him to be. So yeah, it's already when Matthew says go, they will go. Jared Fosbury maybe will be able to do something. I mean, it is Matthew Walder though, as he gets a
Goes now.
beautiful exit out of the final corner. 6 tenths ahead of him is Ivan King is trying to maybe close up on Jared Fosbury, revving out that 7th gear into turn 1. Maybe he'll be able to make a move, but we should look at Ollie Flavel maybe as well. You should be able to break later, but no moves going to be made by him anytime soon as they all file through the little S section of turns 2 and 3.
Sylvain Vestier is at the
Again,
back
loving
of
the sound
Ollie.
is actually Ollie Flavel is under pressure from Vezier now. Vezier goes down the inside and he makes it up into P7. So really, I think they were planning to pit to try and gain time on the guys at the front, but I didn't think they planned to fight each other.
They are, and Ollie's on the inside of Sylvain now. And he is ahead. What a fight between them.
Yes, Ollie
blocks
gets a bit
up
up
and
on the
Sylvain
curb
goes
and
directly
Vezier's going to
in.
be able to come back at him. But it's not going to work out. So these two fighting so much, it's cost them almost a second to the guys in front, and it has actually cost them a second, 1.1 seconds between Ollie and Shane. Shane, of course, on 8-lap-old hard, not hards, just tires, 8-lap-old tires, I should say.
Yeah.
There is
Or
no
these.
hards or anything.
As Sylvain goes away, not off the track, but he goes so far in to the corner. That's what I wanted to say. Like Brandon, Parko, and Reese are ready to get a position when they're doing a mistake. He dropped 1 second off Olive level, and Brandon got a way better exit than Sylvain. He's already side by side with him. Will Brandon Glover do a move into turn 1? I'm pretty much really sure he will get this move done. Sylvain still fighting around the outside. There's the onside line now, but Brandon got a little bit of a switchback. He's gaining now in the deer.
And Ollie Flavel's going down the inside of Ross Denham, who gives him a little tap on the straight, trying to squeeze Ollie to the right hand side of the track, but Ollie's going to make it. Down the inside as Brandon squeezes his way past, kind of barges his way through past Vezier to get up into P8 as he continues his recovery.
Sandra is ahead of Ivan now, and he is in P3. Good to see Sandra on the provisional podium. But he hasn't time penalty.
I think Paco just made a move as well on Reese March, but he might be re-overtaken, and as he is re-overtaken on the exit, as Paco got a little bit out of sorts on the exit, as again, it seems that his rear end just isn't having the best time of it. He's not able to control that rear end as well as he would like to, as Luke Baker also down the inside. Oh my word, Paco Suarez. I was saying he wasn't necessarily able to handle it too well, and he's round in turn 13.
Unfortunately, I didn't got it on my screen camera. As if in VSC.
Yeah, Luke Baker seemed to have crashed little away from the exit of turn 13. I wouldn't really even call it the exit, but seems like he may have had a little bit of an incident with someone.
Yeah, maybe
he spun him around. Of course, if these cars start losing rear grip, they kind of just keep going, really.
Yeah, maybe just spins out of the turn 13, and maybe he saves his car for first and get like a bit of slide to the left, and he wanted to correct that and get then again a slide to the right, and then maybe just drove into the wall. Unfortunately for him, he's our fourth retirement of this race. But still, Sandra is at the back of Jared Fosbury now. But we see these both fighting. Hopefully, it will be the great fighting from USA from the last FP race 1.5 weeks ago. At the back of the at the end of the race, there was fighting pretty good. But Ollie is now on Shane. Behind him is also Brandon fighting Ross. As Matthew is just pulling a gap now. As Shane goes wide and Brandon is in the switching of Ross Denom, and he is ahead of Ross Denom before the penultimate corner came. What is about Oliver? What can he do in the slipstream of Shane Callear? On the start finish straight, he's scanning in the slipstream. He is coming closer. Retry move into turn 1. He is body backed off. Maybe on the sector straight without gears.
Jeremy Pope is... yeah, he's retired as well. He was round at the exit turn 14. He hit the barrier, it seems, which lost him his entire wing, and yeah, now he's going to be retiring.
Oh, and Sandra again spinning under braking. Or got the tap from Delta. I'm not sure, but he saved his car, but he lost 2.4 seconds to Jared. He was in the 1 second window, and he was like 4 tenths behind him, and now he's losing
goes deep
the spot.
as well, and he's finally going to get overtaken by Ivan King there.
Yeah. As Ross retired from the session. Looks like he retired on track. Okay, that's definitely not good to see. But we're on the way. Hopefully Sandra will fight back for the podium position. Should be great to see him, but behind him is Ollie Flowery coming. And Sandra still has his time penalty. So hopefully that will cost not so much places him at the end of the race. And Sandra's not gaining on Delta and only not gaining on Sandra's. Brandon Glover and Shane going side by side into turn 1. Shane is on the outside. Can you fight back? Yes, now the inside line and giving not enough space, but enough space to live. As Brandon got a better exit out of turn 3. All the way to turn 4. Brandon is on the inside and will with the move there. Maybe and switch up from Shane here.
Oh, no.
It looks like
oh
my god!
I don't even know what to say about this right now. I was going to say Ollie Flower might be able to make a switchback move to go down the inside of both was Sundre and Ivan. But it looks like Ivan clipped the rear of Sundre, which put him in a bit of a spin, which kind of collected Ollie and put both of them in the barrier. Sundre already went round, so he was in the barrier, and then he kind of brought Ivan back with him again, hitting
Brandon,
barriers on all sides of the track.
Yeah, and Brad just said, thank you, Brandon is up to P3. After starting a P2 or P3, after lap 1 he was at the back of the grid. And then he fought his way through, but it's very unfortunate for Sandra, for Delta, Ivan and Ollie. I just was commenting on Shane fighting back with a beautiful switchback on Brandon, and then just like saw ahead of them like 2 or 3 drivers just like being sideways to the track, going into the wall. Yeah, that's definitely unfortunate, but we need to watch Silver Investigator who's gaining in the switch on the start finish rate on Shane. But he will be not close enough to try and move into turn 1.
Sandre Sorog might be making a move on Paco Suarez in turn 1. He's going to be closing, revving out that 7th gear. He's going to be going down the inside. He's going to look for it. Clips the curb a little bit on the apex there. But he's going to continue on. Goes very wide. He's not going to get a penalty for that. And it looks like Paco's exit was just a little bit better. Sandre's still going to be trying to make this move down the inside. He gets really a lot up on the curb again. He gets very wide there, so trying to, I guess, use all his warning tokens to try and make this move, but it's not going to work out for him. And he's going to have to stick behind unless he can do anything. Paco Suarez again not having the best exit, as you say. Ollie Flavel
was pitting.
He may have left.
Paco Suarez was just sliding through turn 10, I think it is.
Oh, Ivan King! He got really, really close to the barrier. He looked to have been reacting to Paco rejoining on the track, and he went over to the left, kind of lost the rear a bit, and ended up hitting the wall. So he's going to have no wing for the last bit of this
As
race. He's not going to
we're
lose now. It
done.
doesn't
Matthew
look
Alder
like though.
wins ahead of Jared Fosbury and Brandon Glover, who gets P3, but Matthew should be this winner of the Winter Classic. And Sylvain got ahead of Shane for P4 and P5. Adam got P6. Sandra will be getting on track P7, but he will drop down to P9. Oh no, he's not. Or he is? I don't know. But I just saw that Matthew was in lap 14. I just searched Matthew on the map. I just saw him crossing the line. But I think we're done for today. And for this year's Winter Classic, it was really a enjoyable race. Good fights, but in the end Matthew Alder wins third in the last race of this Winter Classic event. And he wins generally the whole event on points. But this last race was also
first to
entertaining.
second, first, and Brandon was the only one close to him. Brandon taking a win in second, but in this race didn't take second anyway, really. Matthew with 2 wins and a second, there's no combination that would have meant that he would have lost it.
But our last race finishing order is Matthew Alder winning ahead of Jared Foster, Brandon Glover, Sylvain Vessier, Shane Calais, Adam Corrigan, Parkus Ross, Sondre Zerrock, Ivan King, Ollie Flavel, and our DNFs are Reese March, Ross Denholm, Jeremy Pope, Luke Baker, Lance Lebron, Ari and Tom Jewell. Kevin, should we do some interviews?
Well, the people that I would be looking at are really just Matthew and Brandon. You can kind of guarantee they would have been up there.
Yeah.
So, I guess if you want to, we could get them to.
Yeah, then, yeah, we do some short interviews. I'm not really sure what I should ask, but yeah. So I'm the only guy in the lobby anymore. But I'm not sure if we're doing the interviews. But I would say we're doing no interviews because I'm not really sure what I should ask.
Yeah. I guess just wrap it up then.
Yeah. So then I think we're finished today, and we're finished for this year's Christmas Classic event. And I think it was the last event generally this year for IRL. So thank you guys for watching. Our next event of IRL, our next race will be at the need to sure look on the 6th of January, who will be the next race of FP. Yeah, Wednesday, 8 PM UK time, FP race at China. Tune in there. So yeah, we will see us next year. Goodbye.